Morning, John Bowden from Rock History Music. It was strange, and I say this sometimes with no ill intent at all. It's just I woke up this morning and I was telling my wife Shannon, I was saying, it's isn't it great? We haven't had a big rock death in quite a while. We've had, obviously people die all the time, but it's been a good run without having to do an obituary and make an announcement that maybe one of your heroes has passed on. Then I wake up and Shane MacGowan, the lead singer of the Pogues, has passed away. He was 65 years old. Encephalitis, sort of a brain inflamed situation for him. Long history of substance problems with alcohol and other things. I remember when I was watching Fairy Tale of New York with in the 80s, and the person I was with had said to me, man, that guy looks unkept. That guy's dealing with some things. And I remember looking at him and thinking, oh yeah, the Pogues, that Irish band. Didn't know that much about them because, of course, Fairy Tale of New York became quite a big phenomenon. In Ireland, of course, I was just looking it up this morning. In Ireland, hold on a second, they had, they had their fair share of hits. They had like Dirty Old Town, a #7 song, Haunted, then The Irish Rover, which was #1, Fairy Tale of New York, which was a #1 song. This was 1987. Of course, Kirsty MacColl was on that song, and she died, I think it was 2000, trying to save her son in Mexico from they were swimming in an area where they could swim. It was restricted to boats, and this, I guess, very rich family, or they came towards them, and Kirsty tried to save her son, and in doing so, lost her own life. And I remember that was a big deal. She sings Fairy Tale of New York with Shane. But going back to, so both of them are dead now. The Irish Rover, Fairy Tale of New York. Look at all the hits they had in Ireland. If I should fall from the grace of God, Fiesta. Man, yeah, which was, of course, a hit in North America as well. I should point out the ones that were hits in North America. Misty Morning, Albert Bridge. These are all hits in Ireland. Jack's House, A Rainy Night in Soho. Fairy Tale of New York was re-released in 1991 and reached #10 this time. #1 and then #10. Sunny Side of the Street was a hit for them in North America from the rock charts. And then their last one, Tuesday Morning, which was #11 in North America and #26 in Ireland. Like, a lot. He died at 3:30 in the mornings. His wife was there. She released a long statement talking about she hopes he's with Jesus, and it was a beautiful statement. And anyway, 3:30 in the morning with his sister and his wife. He left the hospital. I remember seeing the pictures. And remember, he's been in a wheelchair since, I think, 2015. So he's had some problems. And he was always, at the BBC, I don't even know if I want to show the picture. The BBC has a picture. It's a Getty's picture. And this is from a long time ago. And he looks rough there. But he just had one of those kind of lifestyles. You know what I mean? Dealing with a lot of issues. But he was close friends with Sinead O'Connor. And I'll mention again, he had encephalitis, swelling of the brain. And on November, what is it, like I said, 22nd, he left the hospital. I went, oh, he's okay. There's always that thing, that little rebound that people have sometimes, not always, where you think they're going to be okay, and they get home, and then they're not okay, and they have to go back. So let me check some of your messages. That's it. Am I on live? Oh. Hayes Anderson says, dang. There you go. So I just wanted to report that today before we start editing all our videos, because we're in the process of editing a lot of videos that, remember, we did 30 interviews in 40 days. It's been busy. But Shane MacGowan passed away at 65 years old. In all honesty, I have to admit that I'm surprised that he lived this long, because he had a he lived a rock and roll lifestyle, but good for him. Not for living a rock and roll lifestyle, but for living till he was 65 years old. But it's always sad, when you have someone who contributed so much. And on the Irish charts, I'll say it again, they were not that well known outside of, in North America, I should say, because they had Fairy Tale of New York is being played now all over the world. People have started playing Christmas music, and that's always, the video of him and Kirsty is well known. I remember going, this is a Christmas song, but it is. Hayes, we are all just waking up. Hayes says, we lost many artists in recent years. Marsh says, I'm afraid to say, John, it's amazing that his liver put up this much. Yeah, drinking 65. It's a hard lifestyle. I remember there was a rocker, and I'll share this with you, years ago, and he promised me not to say anything, and he's not well known for drinking. I was introducing him backstage, and I asked him, how do you keep up this kind of lifestyle? And he said, well, I don't do anything before the show. Would never do that. And he's still alive. And remember, he swore me to secrecy, but I can say the details. And I said, well, he was up there in age even then. He says, well, I rest. I said, how do you keep it up? He said, well, I rest. He says, you got to give your liver at least 12, 13, 14 hours. He says, I drink a lot of water. I'm going, well, that's not a good recipe. He says, well, it's better than not doing it. So he was one of those guys. I was interviewing on topic Steve Rosen a few weeks ago, and I was editing the video yesterday. Steve, as you might know, is a well-known writer for Guitar Magazine, guitar player for so many years, was a good friend of Eddie Van Halen's. And just before I went to bed last night, I was reading the part where he talks about Eddie and his habits, his vices. Smoking was one of them. But he said that, he liked to indulge. And he always worried about that, so sooner or later, you can't cheat the hangman. If you walk that wire, it's a dangerous thing. So for Shane MacGowan to live till he was 65 years old, when I was playing Fairy Tale of New York on the radio back in the 80s, I remember thinking, this guy is not long for this earth. And I don't mean anything negative, but there's lessons in everything. There's lessons to this. So before I let you go, I'll just tell you about some of the Dirty Old Town, 1985. This is all hits in Ireland. Haunted, number 7. The Irish Rover, a number 1 song. Fairy Tale of New York was a number 1 song, re-released many years later. Then it became a number 10 song in Ireland. If I Should Fall from the Grace of God, number 4 song. A Fiesta reached number 11. Yeah, 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 number 6, which was also a number 17 hit in North America. Misty Morning, Albert Bridge, number 8. White City, number 22. Look at this, a lot of hits that get to some of the top 10s. Jack's Heroes was a number 4 hit in Ireland. Sunny Side of the Street was number 23 on the rock charts in North America, which was good in the United States. Fairy Tale of New York was re-released in 2005 and reached number 3. It was released 3 times. It was released in 91, 2005, and in the 80s. So that's how big that song is. And it's being played, as I said, everywhere. He left the hospital on the 22nd of November, had encephalitis, was in a wheelchair since, I think, 2015. Went back into the hospital, died at 3:30 a.m. this morning with his wife, surrounded by his wife and his sister. So may he rest in peace. Take good care of yourself, guys. Always a lesson. There's lessons in everything that we go through. So take good care of yourself today. May he rest in peace. Lived a hard life, but we make choices, right? Live till he was 65. I'm John Bowden. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and share our videos. And, of course, like our videos and comment on them as well. I'm John Bowden. Have a good day. Take good care of yourself.